Hey guys, welcome back! Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my truck. Yes, I am back in my truck again. You came back, or if it's your first time here, welcome. What a weird video to pick for your first one. Or maybe you picked it for your first one on purpose, because today I'm going to talk about the Treasure Trove collection from Revel. I love these colors, you guys. They're so different from anything else that Revel has, and people have been asking for so long for more glitters from Revel because they've got their solids game down on lock. They have so many good solid colors, and they're starting to come out with more glitter color. Why is it so hard for me to say? They're starting to come out with more glitter colors, but these are like completely different. I call them glitters because I guess they are, but they're more like iridescent flakes. It's much different than like just your standard glitter would be. The flakes are a little bit more pliable. They're pretty easy to get to stick down to your finger. They also are, if they stick up through your clear dip, you can buff them. You won't dull the glitter like you do on traditional glitters. So you can just buff them and you'll just like buff it off, and then you can just top coat over it and it'll still be smooth. With these, you absolutely 100% do need a clear dip though. You won't be able to just buff right on top of these. You will just buff off the flakes and there won't be any there, which would suck. So I am a terrible influencer, and I left 2 of the colors at home because I'm an idiot. You know, I only got these a couple of days before I hit the road, and I was packing quickly. I had so much going on at that time, and stupid me, I forgot 2 of the colors. But that's okay. Okay, so I just want to show you guys these in the jar as well, as the swatches. So here's 3. I'm going to show you emerald, and that's just what it looks like in the jar. If I remember correctly, sapphire and amethyst looked very similar, except for obviously blue and purple in the jar. I cannot believe I forgot those at home. I'm a terrible influencer. Then we have garnet, which looks like this in the jar. If you tap it, you'll bring the glitters up to the top. The glitters are like gold in this one, so it's really beautiful for Christmas. Both of these would be pretty for Christmas. And then we have rose quartz, which has some really pretty like dusty pink little iridescent glitters in there. I say glitter, but they're very different than glitter, you guys. And then we'll do the next 3, which we have citrine, obsidian, and opal. And these start where the glitter really shows in these ones. I mean, there's a lot in there. This color is literally perfect for Christmas and for New Year's. It's just beautiful. And then next we have obsidian, which definitely has like, guys, can you see how much glitter is in there? It has so much in it. It's so beautiful, and you can see it on my thumb there. It's a gorgeous color. That one you like barely need to even tap it. In fact, I would recommend not tapping this one really, because then it brings too much glitter to the top. And then last but not least, opal. Look at that, you guys. It just reminds me of snow, you know? It just reminds you of winter. So beautiful. So obviously these are more difficult than just like a straight up flat color is. They're not too difficult for a beginner to use though, I don't think at all. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do these flawlessly so that anybody can use them. Are they the easiest to work with? No, absolutely not. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, they are not the easiest to work with. Are they absolutely the most difficult to work with? No, absolutely not. I think the iridescent flakes that I used on my Pride nails back in July were way more difficult. It took me like 5 hours. These took me the normal manicure amount of time. For me, I usually take about 2.5 hours from removal to top coat. So practice definitely will help, but you can do it. I have faith in you. And this will work for any chunky glitters. It's not just specific to these. You can use it for any chunky glitters. So I'm going to show you how I do chunky glitters. Now, first things first, I've already done it, but I always tap to bring the glitters up to the top. I always tap to bring the glitters up to the top. For example, like, you see how opal is right now? If you like just start tapping, you see how the big chunky glitters come up to the top, because then you can lay in it and you'll get more coverage of the chunky glitter. So when you have a super chunky glitter like this, I always suggest tapping. Obsidian feels like, to me, it is like mostly chunky glitter. So I'm gonna give it a good stir too, because I don't want it to be just all glitters. I want some of the color also. So I'm gonna give it a stir. And then I'm gonna just tap it, and there we go. Okay, so with these chunky glitters, what you're gonna need is a toothpick. Obviously, I always use a toothpick, the dip powder, a plastic bag, and I really recommend a slower drying liquid. I'm gonna use Aisle 21's liquids with this because I feel like it'll work really well. I've done my other nails already. So let's do this. So I always do just 2 coats when I'm doing glitters. And with these glitters, you probably could even just do 1. But so my first one I bring pretty close to my cuticle. And then I don't dip in. I lay my finger right on top. And that's what it looks like. And then just stick it right into the bag quickly and push from the sides, rolling it up to the top. And you can just use your finger to kind of run along the edges to try and clean up your cuticles. And then you can just take a toothpick to just flick off the sides a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect around the sides because you're gonna buff anyways, and you can just buff some of those crazy ones off. Okay, and so that's what it ended up looking like. And yeah, there's some around my cuticle still, but don't you fret. We can fix that. And you can also just pull off those ones that are being weird by the sides, because you're gonna do a second dip anyways. Okay, let's do a second dip. And with Aisle 21, you don't need it to be too thick because it dries really slowly, so you can kind of figure stuff out. If you're gonna use a different liquid like Dipalicious or Triple Vitamin or Revel or Sparkle & Co., I recommend doing like a thicker coat so that it doesn't dry too quickly and you can kind of move the glitter around how you want. So on this one, you wanna make sure you get right down to the cuticle line and over on the sides. And it's kind of hard because you got like chunky glitters going everywhere. Are these chunky glitters the easiest to work with? No. Are they the most difficult? Also, I would say no. So I'm gonna go right in there where like these super heavy ones aren't as much because there is so many in this one. Tap it off on the side. Back into your plastic bag and just push on the sides. First, kind of just running your finger along the edges. and down by your cuticle line, and just kind of pushing on the top to get it to lay down flat as best you can. And then see how that turned out, pretty flat. And then I'm just gonna, these few extra little ones I'm gonna get off real quick. And I'm gonna call that good because I know that when I file, I'll be able to clean up the edges a little bit, okay? So then you wanna make sure after that, and notice that I didn't fluff it off at all the whole time with my fluffer, or with my kabuki brush. Sorry, I'm so out of the screen. I'm just pushing down. There was a couple that were sticking up, so I'm just kind of pushing them down. I didn't push it off or fluff it off with my kabuki brush at all that whole time. Because I didn't want to move the glitters around so haphazardly. So, and you can always, if there's like a spot that like didn't, like right there on the side didn't really get much, you can always take your toothpick and you can get a little base on it, and you can like pick one up and just place it wherever you feel like you still need a little bit. Like, right like that. See? Easy enough. All right, let's take our clear. And since I'm not using my kabuki brush, this is getting a little bit on it, but you can just wipe it off on your paper towel and try and get those glitters out of there. See, there we go. All right. I'm trying to get like a real thick layer of clear on here because it takes some pretty aggressive buffing. These real thick glitters do. But man, they're worth it in the long run. There's so much dimension in this color. It is so beautiful. Okay. And then just right into the clear. And I'm kind of like dipping it a couple of times just to make sure I really soak the clear in real good. Then you take your toothpick, run it along your cuticle. All right, I'm gonna buff and clear coat, and I'll be back with a picture. So again, these colors release on November 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can buy them individually and in a bundle, which I think is great because sometimes you're just like in love with like 2 or 3 colors and you don't want like all of them. But also they're at like discounted prices in the bundles. Individually, the half ounces are $8.49 and the 2 ounces $25.49. And then for the bundles for half ounces is $60 and the bundle for 2 ounces is $170. But also, here's the kicker, you guys. You can use my code Rachel15 on these to get 15% off of the singles, the bundles, whatever. Actually, you can use my code Rachel15 at Revel all the time to save 15%, but also on these. And yeah, so that makes them even cheaper. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your guys' continued support. Again, I put out videos every Friday. Click like and subscribe if you like this video. I hope you guys really like this video and you like the style. I know it's a little different, a little like thrown together. Hopefully you got a lot of information, and hopefully you guys really love this collection from Revel. I think it is really awesome. I'm super excited about it. They're super unique, they're super different, and I'll have all the information for this new release linked down below also, so you'll have the information provided for you. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye! It's been a crazy week for me, you guys. I'm a long haul truck driver. I don't know, maybe not everybody knows that's here, but I'm a long haul truck driver, so I'm gone from home for 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes less, but usually it's around 6 weeks at a time. So my last couple days at home are crazy, and of course I got this the last couple days before I left home, and yeah, and then since we were on the road, it's been crazy. We've been late under loads this entire time, and we switched trucks. This is a brand new truck, you guys, but you know, we're the first ones in this truck, and it's only got like 600 miles on it. It's crazy. I've never had such a new vehicle in my life. So yeah, that's that. I think it's good enough. What do you guys think? I should probably get to editing. All right. Oh, oh, oh.